5 affordable perfumes that smell incredibly expensive. If you want to smell like what you're wearing is worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but you don't want to break the proverbial bank, all of these fragrances are absolutely incredible and they're all super high quality and they smell super expensive. I'm excited to share this list with you in just a moment, so make sure to stay tuned. Before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on these 5 amazing fragrances, they're all super high quality and they smell very, very, very expensive, but you're not going to break the bank on any of these fragrances because they're all highly inexpensive. A lot of these are dupes or alternatives of more popular niche fragrances. Nevertheless, I want to start the video off first by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance related content, and of course, if you love smelling your best, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. It would really, really mean a lot to me. So we want to save money, right? I know a lot of these high-end niche fragrances are hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I even have some bottles in my collection that are over $1,000. Take Diaghilev by Roja Parfum, for example. I know that is not financially sound or feasible for a lot of people. So in that case, I want you to save your money. Please consider getting one of these 5 fragrances. We have some for men, some for women, some are unisex. And I'll go ahead and let you know what they are as I reveal them to you. Now, the first one I want to talk about is by the Dua brand. And this one is called Fatal Vanilla. Now, this stuff has aged so much. The vanilla has gotten so dark in my bottle. This is the brand's take on Vanille Fatale by Tom Ford. The one thing I've always said about this fragrance, the original and the inspiration, is that it's one of these vanilla fragrances that kind of remind me of Play-Doh. I know that's weird. I know a lot of people have like these guilty crushes when it comes to smells. Like some people like really peculiar smells. I know some people who say they like the smell of gasoline. Some people say they like the smell of nail polish. I've even heard people say they like the smell of skunk. Well, I actually do like the smell of Play-Doh. And this is a fragrance where that vanilla is kind of like Play-Doh-y, but it's a very beautiful fragrance. There's enough of that sweetness to offset that quirky attribute of the Play-Doh-ness. I'm sorry for my neologism there, but this is such a beautiful fragrance. Really, I can't recommend this one enough. You're going to be saving tons of money with the Dua alternative, and I still wear this from time to time, but don't spray this one on a white shirt. I warned you. And also, do not do more than like 4 or 5 sprays. This one is going to last a very, very long time. It's an extrait de parfum concentration, 33% concentration of aromatic compounds. It's a beautifully done fragrance. I can't recommend it enough. Now for the gentleman, this one is unisex, but for the gentleman, we have Lattafa. I have to be careful with how I pronounce it. Lattafa fakar. This is a beautiful apple tonka bean fragrance. And this one, by the way, dirt cheap, huge compliment getter, incredibly versatile. And yes, this is going to be more of a casual fragrance. Why? Because it's modeled after Y by Yves Saint Laurent. So that is a very mass appealing, easygoing, compliment getting type of a designer fragrance. And I have purchased all of the Ys. Every last one of them. The Elixir, the Le Parfum, I think it is, the Intense. I have all of them. And this one, I think, is modeled after the original. So if you're looking for something highly inexpensive, very long lasting, great for a younger demographic, I'm going to be honest with you, but something that you can wear in a casual scenario. And yes, you can wear it on a date as well. It just smells like a very well-groomed gentleman. Lattafa Fakar is incredible for that. And this is one that I'm always recommending. So here we have sweet, here we have versatility, and this next one is another sweet one. This is gourmand, but it also has a mysterious edge to it. And this one, I'm telling you, lasts the entire day. I've spoken about this on my channel before. If you're a fan of gourmands, this is a spicy, sweet, caramel-like coffee fragrance. And this is actually a very inexpensive alternative of a fragrance that is super, super, super expensive. Well, not super expensive, but it is expensive if you pay retail. I know this is a brand that can be found online for a discounted price, but the scent profile is matched, the longevity is matched, And this one from the brand CAD Lage is called Cafe Latte. So this is the brand's take on Amore Cafe by Mancera. And you know Mancera, especially on TikTok, there are two fragrances that get all the hype from the Mancera brand. Amore Cafe and, you guessed the other one, French Riviera. For whatever reason, Instant Crush is kind of taking a backseat, I think because it's been around for such a long time, but Amore Cafe continues to get hype, tons and tons and tons of hype. If you're a fan of coffee and caramel and spice and vanilla, this is such a beautiful fragrance. It's not as milky or lactonic as some other CAD Lage fragrances like Cream Velvet, for example. That's the brand's take on Giardini di Toscana's Bianco Latte, another one that could have very well made this list, although I featured it on a number of lists in the past, but Cafe Latte is beautiful. The next fragrance on this list, it's another one from the Dua brand. And this one, of course, is modeled after a very expensive fragrance from the house of Creed. And of course, this one went into its own collection. And what I mean by that is you had like the standard collection, and then you had like the ones with Spice and Wood, Sublime Vanille, Pure White Cologne. Those were all like super expensive in comparison to the standard lineup, which is also incredibly expensive. And this one is, I think this one is inspired by White Amber, I think it's called. It's called Avec Elegance. Now this is one that you can spray on clothing, and I might as well, why not? Amazing. This is such an effortless fragrance. And despite the amber, it's not sticky, it's not viscous, it's not resinous. It's not one of those types of amber fragrances. This is actually very easy to wear, very easy to pull off, and it's a hit. I think the original is amazing. Dua's interpretation is also amazing. If you haven't tried this one, and I wore this one a little bit, not too much, but again, a little bit goes a long way. 5, 6 sprays are going to last you 10, 12 hours. They're all extrait de parfum concentration at the end of the day. Now, in the number 1 spot, we have red berries, we have this gorgeous, gorgeous sugar accord. You have vanilla, you have a hint of caramel in here as well. And this one is an incredibly inexpensive fragrance. And this is the brand's take on the original Billie Eilish perfume. I know she recently came out with Your Turn, which I purchased and reviewed on Instagram and TikTok. I have to do a video on it for YouTube as well, but this is inspired after the original Billie Eilish perfume, the one that is shaped like the top of, you know, like a torso, and cut off at the chin, I think. But this is a beautiful red berry, sugar, vanilla, caramel fragrance by Lattafa. It's called Nebras. Beautiful presentation as well. The atomizer is also very nice, very wide distribution, strong mist. Please check this one out. This one is a bit feminine leaning, I am going to be honest, on account of the sweets, the vanilla, the caramel, the berries. So it's not going to be like, oh, and it's so warm and it's so rich. It's not going to be like some of the others, like Vanille Fatale, which is unisex, Cafe Latte, unisex. This one is masculine. This one, in my opinion, can be a bit feminine leaning, but nevertheless, I want to leave it up to you to make that determination. Where would you like, where what makes you happy, what makes you feel fulfilled? Thank you all so much for joining me today. I love you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you took something of value from today's episode. And I love doing this so much. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to exercise what I love to do. If you took anything of value from today's episode, I would really appreciate it if you would consider supporting the channel by clicking subscribe, hitting the bell, and giving this video a thumbs up. It would mean the world to me. Thanks again for watching. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.